Welcome to episode 47 of the Character Unlock podcast. We have some stuff to talk about today, so we're going to be talking about a little bit of No Man's Sky, a bit of Pokemon, a bit of Darksiders. I don't know, waste some time chatting a bit of shit. I can't do it on my own, so I'm hosting this week. I'm Andrew Brooker, and joining me as always is my good buddy John Miller. How are you, mate?
I'm pretty good, dude. How's things with you?
Yeah, mate. I know I say it every fucking episode, but I'm exhausted. I'm currently doing a course down in London, and I'm travelling back and forth every day, which is fine. It's just an hour on the train. It's not that big a deal. But the course itself is so brutal. It's completely frying my brain. I can't do it. I got home Monday. I just sat down and went, right, let's watch some TV. It's just mental. On top of that, I'm coming home, and bless her, I'm hardly doing anything. But we're organising. It's Nikita's birthday party at the weekend. So, luckily for me, you know, Maya's doing most of the work, and because she's a fucking badass. But I begrudgingly go, "Do you want any help?" and then fall asleep. So I'm knackered, mate. How about you? You all good?
Yeah, pretty content. There's nothing really significant going on here, like courses or anything like that. It's just letting the shit hit the fan around me and just hoping for the best.
That's the way to do it. Just let it hit and just duck. Just stick your hands in front of your face, so if you get any on you, it doesn't go in your mouth, and you're all good. Literally my philosophy for life. Just let the shit hit the fan. Just try and get out of the way.
It's a good philosophy.
But yeah, it's weird because I was looking at the news when we were putting together the agenda for this, and because the last couple of episodes we've had fuck all to talk about, and then like lots of little things have happened. So I had to go. Let's go pick 2 or 3 things to talk about. Otherwise, we'll be here all fucking day talking about absolutely pointless nonsense. I suppose that's not a bad segue into news, I suppose.
Yay, news.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'll let you head this first one off then, mate, because you need to talk to me about this. I know fuck all about it. Pokemon Let's Go?
Yes, so Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Evee, the 2 new Pokemon titles coming to Switch in the future. And that future is in November the 16th, to be specific. So it's still quite a little while away, but today we got a bit new news about stuff. So basically, the chap in charge of Game Freak essentially said that there's going to be the possibility of forward compatibility.
So it'll work with what do they call it, the core RPG?
Yep. The core RPG in 2019.
Yeah, so the new actual Pokemon game that's coming next year. Yeah. So you'll be able to, transfer your saves forwards?
He didn't go into any kind of specifics, but it's like that you can transfer some Pokemon from the Let's Go titles to the upcoming game.
Okay.
But it's kind of like the Pokeball Plus that's coming out, which means that you'll be able to essentially transfer Mew, who is the original.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, didn't we talk about this one before?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, we talked about how you get Mew in the Pokeball Plus if you buy a Pokeball Plus. But yeah, if there's a ability to transfer Pokemon forward into the new game, yeah, you'll end up possibly with Mew in the new game. But they've not stated when. It'll probably be a post main story thing.
Either that, or it's going to be kind of blown out of proportion at the moment. And a bit like, was it? I can't remember if there was a game save on your PlayStation for Infamous 1, you got extra stuff in Infamous 2. I think that must have been it, because it couldn't have been a Second Son thing, because Second Son was PS4. But I'm pretty sure if you had played Infamous when you installed Infamous 2, it realised that you had a save and just gave you extra things.
Awesome.
I think it was quite a while ago. It might not have even been Infamous. But is it? Yeah, it sounds like it could be something like that.
Yeah, it's to be fair, it's one of the things I've kept some of the old demos and stuff, saves and things. Like I'm not gonna uninstall Captain Spirit until I know for a fact that there's no reason to hold on to it, or if B, the save data doesn't actually help the game whatsoever.
Your saves or your decisions will go into Life is Strange 2, so I don't know if you delete the game, does it remove?
That's the thing. Is it stored somewhere else, or is it stored to my save data? If I delete everything, do I lose all of that? And I go by the generic what everyone else chose by percentage.
Don't know. I'd probably leave it there.
Yeah, that's the only reason I've kept Captain in advance is because I don't know yet when Life is Strange 2 comes. But what else have we got news-wise?
So there were a couple of bits. It's all kind of announcements and new things coming. So the small one, or I say the small one, the one I don't really care about, but it's worth talking about. No Man's Sky's next update, and when I say next, I mean it's actually called Next. So the next update, hits next week to coincide with the game releasing on Xbox. So this will be the update that gives No Man's Sky a multiplayer mode that was originally announced and then stick it over on the box when the game came out, because there is no multiplayer mode. So finally, 2 years?
Yeah.
After it came out, it's finally getting its multiplayer mode. Comes out, like I say, next week. So I think Tuesday in the US and Friday in the UK and Europe. Or Tuesday in the US, Friday everywhere else. I'll be honest, I read the article for it and went, great, I don't care. And moved on and read something else. I don't know what I know it will allow you to team up with other people, so you can get a group of mates together and go exploring, but that's pretty much all I know. I don't know if that's gonna make a difference to anybody that already owns it. I don't know if there's anybody actually excited to play this thing on Xbox One. It's got such a bad reputation that follows it around. I can't imagine it doing well when it hits Xbox One. And 2 years later, I think the excitement's gone. I don't think people care. But
no, I think
I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Yeah, I think that adding multiplayer to a game that probably was begging for it right from the start. Finally, after 2 years, there might be people who will be picking it up for a second time, or some of them the third time. Some people who've been playing it this entire time, I don't think there's any of those left. People who play nothing but No Man's Sky, there's probably run out of stuff to do.
Yeah. But this is the other one, of course. It's not going to make any money on PlayStation because everywhere is chock-a-block with second-hand copies of No Man's Sky. Like, you go into game, there's fucking loads. You go into CEX, there's even more. It's just sticky floorings that game doesn't have. It's not going to make money. Certainly not on PlayStation. There are enough second-hand copies floating about for everybody that wants to play it to get one cheap and not hand any money over to No Man's Sky. I do find it hilarious, though, that No Man's Sky comes out on the Xbox next week just after you've bought a PlayStation 4.
Yeah. that the irony is not lost on me. Actually, do you know what the worst part is?
Go on, then.
Bought a PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah.
On last week, and yesterday was Prime Day, or at least the day before was.
I did think of you when I saw one of our buddies over at Jump Cut has bought a PS4 Pro for Prime Day, and I looked at it and thought, oh, John, you poor fucker.
But I looked into it, and I saw the deal for buying a PS4 Pro, and I saw what they'd knocked it down to.
Yeah.
And then did the maths for the games that I've got and thought, you know what, I've still come away with a decent deal because that PS4 Pro was a Pro on its own.
Yeah.
And I spent an extra 50 quid, and I got a copy of Detroit and God of War. So
yeah, that's a pretty decent deal. God of War's worth 50 quid all on its own.
yeah.
Yeah, and I would still now, after it's been out a couple of months and I finished it, if I was going to buy it, I'd gladly spend 50 quid to buy it again. That's how
Well,
good
to
God
be
of War
fair,
is.
you did offer to let me borrow your
Well, I
PlayStation
literally
to
said to
play
you,
God of War.
everybody needs to play this game. If you're not going to pick up a PlayStation, take mine and play fucking God of War.
Yeah.
You know,
I think the only reason I turned you down was because I knew that there was I had a decent bonus coming for me, so I thought, oh fuck
yeah,
it, I'm just gonna buy it anyway.
fair enough.
Probably should have just held that for Prime Day, but like I said, 50 quid for 2 games that I will finish God of War.
Yeah.
Whether or not I finish Detroit's another matter.
Yeah, I've not read many good things about Detroit outside of, thank you, Cookie, outside
Nice.
of, well, every time. Like clockwork, I start podcasting, she makes a fucking noise. Yeah, apart from outside of fanboys, I've not heard much. I've not heard many good things about Detroit. So I'd be curious as to your thoughts when you finally get around to playing it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll play what I'll play first because Detroit I'm slightly interested in. God of War very interested in. Heavy Rain's on PlayStation Plus, and I've only got as far as the driving down the highway in the wrong direction part,
Yeah,
and then I kind of just got bored and just stopped playing it.
I,
I think I put a different disc in my PlayStation 3, and then just didn't put Heavy Rain back in again.
yeah. Well, I bought Heavy Rain when it first came out and hated it. I didn't get more than a couple of hours in and sent it back or sold it on or something. And then when the PlayStation Move came out, when that was a thing, it got a Move compatibility update. Heavy Rain got a Move compatibility update, so I bought it again, and still only got 2 hours into it and sold it again. Then it came out on PS4, and I rented it, and I played it for less than an hour, and went, I remember this shit. I'm not fucking playing this.
Just got you got as far as the woman in the shower
Yeah, pretty much.
getting raped, and thought, you know what? Don't need this in my life.
No, I don't. I don't. I'm. David Cage takes a lot of shit, and he gets a lot of abuse from a lot of people. A lot of it rightly so. But I just don't like his games. I don't like what he does. I didn't like Indigo Prophecy. I didn't like Heavy Rain. I really wanted to like Beyond, and Beyond had some really good ideas. I just couldn't get on with parts of it. I couldn't be less interested in Detroit. I really don't care. The guy considers himself an auteur, which I just... You can see him trying to do it. Games aren't his medium, though. I think he should be working for HBO.
Yeah,
know,
I can see that with what I've played so far, Heavy Rain.
I think his stories should be being put to TV with a development team and possibly someone that can tell him no, that's not going to work. No, I don't get his games. I don't like his games.
I suppose Heavy Rain has a bit of a thing for you being a father in the whole story is based on a father losing his son.
The thing is, if I'd only played it first this year, I would probably agree with that. But it came out in like 2008.
Yeah.
I was 5 years off of being a dad at that point. It wasn't
True.
You know.
I mean, it's more of a if you were to get around to actually playing it again, I think that you would probably struggle and you'd hate it more.
Yeah. See, I purposely there are a couple of things. I think you're not wrong. I tend to avoid things like that nowadays. There is a certain, let's say,
a line that you just don't want to.
Well,
to
yeah,
cross.
there's like a subgenre of horror movies that I will sit and watch because I love horror movies, and I will watch almost anything that says horror movie on the back. That's it's that one thing I forgive. I forgive horror movies a lot, but anything else, stuff like that, I avoid. I don't like it. I don't find it entertaining. I don't like stuff that's going to give me panic attacks while I'm trying to sleep while I think about it maybe happening to me or my family. I tell you what, mate, not quite the same thing, but sort of. It's the reason I no longer watch Roland Emmerich disaster movies. I don't like watching films where the entire world is destroyed by something that we can't control. So let's say 2012.
Okay.
Or because it gives me panic attacks. I look at it and go, what the fuck would I do? And I know full well I would try everything but fail because the entire world failed. And I don't like that kind of inevitability in my nightmares. So I don't watch them.
So it's a good reason to not watch a film.
The only exception to that rule is Independence Day, because I fucking love Independence Day. But also that came out in like 1996 before I became a complete fucking head case.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what we'll call you.
Yeah. So what are your plans for your PlayStation then? You getting any other games?
So I've got Horizon on its way.
Good man.
From Boomerang, and also on my list of things to come to me is going to be The Last of Us, despite it coming onto PlayStation Hits.
Yeah, PlayStation Hits is a weird thing. I am glad they haven't called it PlayStation Platinum, but there is something, and it makes me sound like such a cunt. I will never buy anything with that red PlayStation Hits banner on it. I don't like it. I don't like the budget look. I just can't stand it. I don't know, but it is good. I'll give them that. So now they've released this list of games. It's like Ratchet and Clank and The Last of Us and Uncharted 4, Killzone Shadowfall, Infamous Second Son. I'm doing all these off the top of my head. They're all the ones I can remember.
Bloodborne.
Yep. So these are all going on to their PlayStation's budget thing. So on PlayStation 4, it's called PlayStation Hits. They're what, $15.99 each?
Yep, or 2 for 25 in most places.
Yeah, currently everywhere's selling them for 2 for 25 quid. I would guess 2 for 25 quid will be the permanent price of them.
Yeah.
Like, you will always find somewhere that's selling them for 2 for 25 quid, which is a fantastic deal for some of these games. You know, again, I know my love for Killzone knows almost no bounds. I would pay 25 quid for Killzone on its own. Same as I would for Infamous Second Son. So to get the pair of them for 25 quid, absolutely.
Yeah, I see. Now, it's not my first PlayStation 4. This is actually my second, and I think I didn't play Infamous Second Son or Killzone Shadowfall, I think almost entirely because I didn't own my PlayStation for long enough. And despite the fact that I had it, I didn't have any games aside from Drive Club because I fired it up once about 3 months after I'd bought it, had to install updates, and then had to install updates for other things, and download a couple of games from PlayStation Plus, and then I just realized that, hang on a sec, I've just wasted 3 hours downloading shit, and I've not started playing anything yet.
Yeah. Yeah. To be fair, I've done that on Xbox as well. I was going, oh yeah, I've got all these games to install. Let's install them. Don't actually play any games. Can't play any multiplayer because I'm currently downloading everything. And, wow, now I'll just sit and stare at progress bars all day.
Yep.
Woohoo.
It's like being at work again.
Yeah, it really is.
But I guess the whole instant on thing, it being my home console, I can wake on LAN and all that crap and send games down to it and it'll just install them, means that maybe this console will actually, because that was the one thing my old one didn't have, was the fact that I couldn't do instant on updates and auto download everything.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, same as the Xbox has over the last couple of years. PS4 has become it always was a fantastic machine, but it has become a fucking great machine. Same as the Xbox, it's got system resume and game resume, which, same as the Xbox, is a fucking lifesaver because I don't want to sit there through 12 title screens just so I can play my game.
No.
You know, it's amazing.
Occasionally the system resume is kind of irritating because you'll fire it up and it'll go, yeah, system resume. By the way, you need to reconnect to all of our servers by pressing this button. But you can't do it in-game, you have to do it in the menu.
Pretty much any Ubisoft game does that.
Any EA game does it.
Yeah.
And GTA does it as well.
Yeah.
And GTA is a nightmare one because if you do it, you need to restart the game completely because you can't just connect back up to the GTA Rockstar Cloud servers.
Oh, and you got to sit through those awful fucking title screens.
Yep.
Fun.
Every time. Every time.
See, system resume's weird. Like Tomb Raider, it doesn't work on. Tomb Raider on System Zoom on the Xbox, it just bounces you back to the main screen, and you have to go through the loading process anyway. Half the Ubisoft games I found came back with no sound.
Ooh.
Which was amazing. Like Assassin's Creed, every time I booted it up from System Resume, no sound. So, okay, I'll just restart the fucking game then, shall I? What was the point in that?
Yep. Yeah, what's the point of System Resume?
Yeah.
It's like everyone really wanted System Resume, and then it just doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's only a couple of games it hasn't worked on.
It's probably entirely the developer stroke publisher's fault anyway, so can't blame System Resume. Microsoft have tried to install something, as have played Sony, and the only people who can do it right are Sony and Microsoft.
Pretty much.
But my PlayStation looks quite nice sat between my Switch and my Xbox One, because I've got the more vertical.
Nice.
Well, the Scorpio comes with the vertical stand, which the One X didn't, by default. So it's quite nice having them sat there.
Nice. I said mine are all hidden away. My Switch isn't, mainly because of the way it stands. It won't fit into any of the shelves I have.
And even you can't really hide it away because it's the whole point. You have to pull it out every so often.
You lift it out the caddy. I've got to take it out. Nah, it sits next to the TV. But everything else is kind of hidden away on shelves, behind doors, along with the Skybox and the Blu-ray player and all that shit. I don't see any of it. The only thing I have to remember is to move the doors before I turn anything on. Otherwise, it starts getting a bit warm.
I just wish there was a better way to charge the Switch Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Because having my Switch in the dock, so it's in TV mode, so I can play on the TV, and I have the controller in the Joy-Con in the controller pad that you get with it.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you get your Joy-Con battery is running low in the left one, never the right one, always the left one first.
Awesome.
So it's like now I need to slide it onto my Switch, and now I've only got one controller.
Yeah. To be fair, that's why I bought a Pro controller. I don't worry about that. Whenever I use my Switch in TV mode Pro controller.
Yeah. I feel like the desk that I recently bought is literally just going to be covered in controllers and headsets now.
Yeah, this is a thing as well. Like there are two things in abundance in this living room. In the living room I'm currently sitting in, remotes.
Yep.
For fucking everything.
Yep.
And doesn't matter how much I try and tidy them up, they're still fucking everywhere.
Get one of them universal ones. One of them really fucking ugly as sin universal remotes. It's got like 1,000 buttons on the front of it. Because although it's universal, it needs to have individual buttons for every single individual item.
Yeah. Because that's not universal. I might as well just take all of my remotes and super glue them together.
Like putting buttered toast on a cat.
Exactly.
To see which one lands first.
Yep. But yeah, the other one is controllers. So, like, there's my Xbox controller is always out. At least one PlayStation controller is always out, as is my Pro controller. They all kind of live in a line in front of my television. Well, that's just annoying me. It's even worse if I have to charge them, because now there's cables everywhere while I'm not playing them and they're charging. Fuck off.
You know what we need?
Go on.
A Mad Catz
universal controller.
Universal controller, because all of them have pretty much the exact same number of buttons.
Yeah.
You could literally just go, hang on a sec, let's have one controller, and then you can interchangeable where you have the joystick, the thumbstick on the left-hand side, whether you have it in the correct position or in the PlayStation position.
See, I'm all for that. Especially
and then just little flick switches, so you have like Xbox Switch, Switch, and the PlayStation Switch on the middle, like what the Elite controller has with a little flick switch for between 1 layout and 2 layout, for how you've got the buttons mapped.
Yeah.
Have that, and then all you have to do is just plug in the USB device, little radio controlled USB device into the front of whichever console it is you want to happen to play at the time, and then flick the switch so that it knows which buttons are which.
Yeah. That'll work. That'd be nice. Especially because the Nintendo Pro controller is it's the same layout as the Xbox One anyway.
Apart from A, B, X, and Y being the other way around.
Well, yeah. But what I mean is like the actual, not what buttons are what, but the actual button layout. So 4 buttons and the joypad and joysticks, in different places. The actual layout is the same. But
I wonder if anyone's tried plugging an Xbox controller into a Switch.
I haven't. I
This
can
is
tell
where
you
it
that my
works.
Switch Pro controller works Bluetoothed to my Mac.
Ooh.
I played Fortnite with it on the last training course I went on. I installed Fortnite on my Mac and then controlled it with my Pro controller.
You see, my Windows 10 laptop doesn't even need a cable or anything to connect up to my Xbox controller. It literally just syncs to it because it's a Windows 10, relatively new Windows 10 laptop, and it just syncs via wireless.
Nice. Very nice.
Because that's better than Bluetooth.
Yeah.
As proven at EGX every year when the PlayStation controllers give up the fucking ghost. Because it's like 1,000 people with Bluetooth.
Fucking Far Cry demo was just insane.
It's like trying to turn left, and nope, you're just turning the left on someone else's screen.
Try and turn left and fire weapon. What? Didn't want to do that. Yeah. Oh, I have it here as well.
Stealthy.
I've got a Bluetooth soundbar under my TV. So it's wired into the TV, but the sub for it is Bluetooth.
Yeah.
It switches on when I turn the TV on. Problem is, if I forget to switch it off, if I'm not using it, it stops the Bluetooth on my Apple TV remote working.
Nice.
It's so retarded. It's just, I'm sitting there going, why isn't it working? Oh, now it's working too much. Now I'm clicking on everything. Thanks, Bluetooth.
See, that's why whenever I go out now, and this is going really off topic now, but I actually look at the soundbar that I've got with the wireless subwoofer. I made sure that I went out and got a 2.4.
Yeah.
Just because I know for a fact that Bluetooth sucks ass.
Yeah.
Bluetooth at every available opportunity. The only thing that I have that is Bluetooth is my car stereo to connect my phone to it.
Yep.
Because it's better over Bluetooth. You get slightly less track skipping than you do over the USB. And because I've got a new iPhone, so therefore I don't have aux.
Yeah.
Otherwise I would just use that. Even though I've got full control of my phone music via my steering wheel by having Bluetooth. And my headphones, because once again I've got a new iPhone, so it doesn't have an aux port, so I have to have Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah.
Or the standard Apple ones that plug into the charging socket, and now I can't charge my phone.
Yeah. Well, they're the ones I use because I only ever use headphones when I'm walking the dog. I'm not trying to charge my phone when I'm walking the dog.
True. I think I've used the headphones a couple of times when charging my phone just to listen to music.
Yeah.
Just like lying down, like on the sofa, charging my phone, and then Bluetooth headphones on and walking around or lying down.
Yeah.
It works. Occasionally just listening to music because I can't be asked to play it over the speakers, so I'm just listening to it myself.
Fair enough.
I think my soundbar actually does do Bluetooth, and I can connect my phone to it to play music over Bluetooth.
Yeah, see, my iPad and my phone are both connected to my soundbar, so if I ever want to play like Nikita something, I'll listen to this and just swipe to my soundbar and it just works.
And now she gets to listen to Slayer.
Yeah. Don't listen to much Slayer in this house.
You don't listen to enough Slayer. Just in general.
No, I don't mind Slayer. I like them. I just prefer Slipknot. I want a bit of a Rob Zombie kick at the moment.
You say that, but I've been listening to Stone Sour pretty much exclusively the last couple of days at work.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
No, it's not. But it all stemmed from the fact that I've picked up... I was on Amazon Music and literally just flicked onto the top rock and metal playlist.
Yeah.
And then the first song was Stone Sour, Say You'll Haunt Me.
Oh, that's a good song, man.
And I literally just went, you know what? I think I might just keep listening to Stone Sour.
Yeah.
And just flicked onto Stone Sour instead. I was like, yeah, this works.
Yeah.
This is exactly the mood that I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, Stone Sour was perfect for almost any mood. I will not argue with that.
So Darksiders 3's got a release date.
Yeah, so let's get back on with some fucking news. Last bit, I suppose, Darksiders 3 finally has been given a release date. It comes out 27th of November.
Which gives me just enough time to possibly finish Darksiders 2.
Well, I started Darksiders 2 tonight. I played it for an hour and then went, fuck, I need to turn this off because I've got some podcasting to do. But yeah, I'm going to talk about Darksiders in a bit. But have you seen the fucking editions of this game that they've announced?
Isn't there one that's like $2,000 or something?
There's one there's a £150 one or $150 one. So we'll say probably about 120 quid. It's a collector's edition.
No, it'll be £150.
Well, yeah, it probably will.
Because they'll somehow say, oh, it's $150 before tax.
Yeah.
So now we'll add tax, and there we go. It's now £150.
So that comes with a box, a steelbook, an art book, soundtrack, copy of the game, some DLC armor, and a statue of Fury, which sounds kind of cool. But there is also one, the Apocalypse Edition, will set you back $400.
Yep.
Now, I'm not being funny. If I had the spare $400, I would probably hand it over for this. But still, $400, what the fuck? This is a franchise, there's a lot of people that love this franchise, but this is a franchise you're trying to rescue and bring back from the dead. A $400 fucking box might be taking the piss just a little bit. Anyways, it comes with a fucking scroll. I don't know what's on it. It's just a hangable fabric print that is it's a scroll. But it also comes with a Fury statue, a War statue, a Death statue, and a Volgrim statue.
If it had just a Volgrim statue edition would be enough for me.
See, I don't care that much about Volgrim. I quite like his character. I wouldn't say no to having 3 of the 4 horsemen up on my shelf. But if I spend 350 quid on a copy of Darksiders 3, I'm likely to end up divorced.
Yeah. Just send it to your wife and see what you get back.
Yeah.
Just in general. If it's like a picture of a knife, then you know you've got a problem.
I'm pretty sure anything says there's one that's like a Blade and Whip edition, or Blade edition and a Whip edition. I'm not sure. You get a little bit of DLC, and all 3 of the expensive ones you get copies of Darksiders and Darksiders 2 Remastered included in your game.
Yeah.
Which is great. But yeah, November 27th, Darksiders 3.
Just in time to play Red Dead Redemption 2.
But this was my thing, because now I've pre-ordered the 90 quid version of Red Dead Redemption 2. Because the 90 quid version of Red Dead Redemption 2 has all the single player DLC, extra DLC stuff, and the Steelbook. And that's kind of my bag. I'm okay spending that kind of money for one game. My problem is now, as a second game a month later, that I also want to spend probably 90 quid on, and that will get me in trouble.
Yep.
So I now don't know quite what to do.
Don't spend 90 quid on these games?
Well, you would think it's that easy, wouldn't you?
It is that easy. I'm going to do it. That exact thing that I just said of not spending £90 on 2 games. No, £90 on 1 game. I'm not going to do that either. It's pretty easy. I'm managing it right now.
Yeah.
See me not spending £90 on a game?
But you're clearly a better man than I am.
That was just everyone knew that anyway.
But, stupid fucking additions aside, I'm actually really excited. And for it to now have an actual proper release date, I am very excited. And it has pushed me to finally fucking get on and finish Darksiders again.
Is it just me, or is Darksiders 3 screaming out for an August release?
It really should be out in August. There's nothing coming out. There's fuck all coming out in August. There's potential for a massive... Well, there's potential for an average game to come out and be massive.
Yep.
So for a big name like Darksiders to come out, look at what Deus Ex did a few years ago when that came out, resurrected a franchise and done huge numbers because it got fantastic reviews and came out when there were no other games. I wasn't going to buy Deus Ex. I literally sat there and went, I'm not going to fucking bother. I don't need more Deus Ex in my life. The last one was pretty shit. I don't really want more. And then went, fuck it, there's nothing else coming out. Fuck it, I think I found it for like 30 quid on release week.
I think I bought it day one, and I think I actually took a day off work at the time. It was like the first year me and you were working together.
Yeah. It's a while ago now, mate.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. And we just like, both of us, just like Deus Ex, just, you weren't really interested in it. I thought, fuck it, let's grab it first on day one. Played it, you played it, and we both fell in love.
Yeah, this is it. So August would be a perfect time for Darksiders 3 to come out. Like I said, nothing coming out in August. It would be perfect. That being said,
is there even anything coming out in August?
No.
I think we've actually looked at it before so many times. Been like, there isn't even anything that could accidentally come out and be a hit in August. There's just nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Well, I say, while we're looking, while we're talking, I'm going to game release dates. August, all platforms. Let's see what we got. Come on. Overcooked 2.
Yeah, that's gonna sell a few. I'm gonna go Overcooked too, I think.
F1 2018.
Yep. Actually, I'm kind of half looking forward to that one because it looks like it's going to be a pretty interesting game.
PES 2019.
Silence.
Yeah, pretty much what I thought. And currently, Divinity Original Sin 2, which I will play. I just probably won't buy on day one. That's pretty much it.
It's like, I'm just looking at the end of July stuff. Apart from, there's No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
No, that's it. There's No Man's Sky.
So, mate, the week, so what it needs to do, it needs to come out 21st of August. Tuesday, 21st of August.
Looking at, okay, so We Happy Few is probably going to be the game, despite the fact it's been in early access this entire time.
That will be. I'll be curious to see how well that actually does.
Akami HD really coming out Switch.
Nah. See the Switch stuff.
Oh, Madden, I guess, but Madden comes out every year.
Yeah.
It's not going to sell a lot. It's not going to sell more than it normally does.
But it's it's not a big game for. Darksiders needs to come out 21st of August. So the week before the bank holiday weekend. So people got time to buy it, read some good reviews, and realise that they've got a 3-day weekend that they can sit and play.
Yeah.
Mate, it would do fucking massive numbers. And I'm really sad that that's not when it's coming out. But also, really glad that that's not when it's coming out, because I'm not going to have time to play August bank holiday weekend. I'm away. So, yeah.
Also, you probably won't be able to finish Darksiders 2 in that time.
Well, no. So, How Long to Beat tells me that Darksiders 1 should take about 17 hours.
I think I did it in 14.
Yeah, I think I did this playthrough I finished the other day. I did in, I think, 12. But I have played the game quite a few times before. I do know most of the battles and most of the puzzles, and didn't struggle really with any of it.
I think for me, the only bit that took me a while was trying to do the bit on the back of the beast where you're trying to get so many kills. I think that took me a bit longer than it did the first time, because I actually had to put more than 4 efforts into trying to get that achievement.
Yeah.
And then I think I gave up because I just couldn't be asked.
Oh yeah, I know the one. Yeah, killing all the flying things.
Yeah. You have to kill like 150 bats, and there's 156 of them or something.
Yeah, it's called like aerial assault or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so How Long to Beat says Darksiders 2 should take about 19 hours. So I tend to, when I look at their numbers, I tend to add maybe 50% on for me, because for a quick playthrough, I still can't help myself but walk around and look at things and do side missions and stuff. Assuming I finish Darksiders 2, I reckon it'll probably take me about 25 to 30 hours.
It's the artificially lengthened by having to spend ages walking between your dungeons.
Yeah. So we'll probably talk about this a bit more when we get to what we've been playing, but I'm very dubious and kind of going in carefully with Darksiders 2, because I did fuck up my playthrough last time, which is why I never finished it. But I would hope to have it finished by November so I can play Darksiders 3. My actual game challenge wise, I think Darksiders was number 24. So I've only got 2 left to finish before I've actually completed my challenge for the year, and August hasn't started yet. So I think I've got some time.
Clearly, these challenges aren't difficult enough.
Well, the point wasn't really to make it difficult. The point was just to get me to fucking finish these goddamn games, because I keep starting games and not finishing them.
So that you'd have something to talk about pretty much every episode.
Well, this was it. So the point was supposed to be, so every other week I would have at least one game finished. So every episode I'd be able to say I finished a game. It hasn't always been the case, but there have also then been weeks where I've finished 3 games. So I'm quite happy with that. Hopefully, after this week, things will start to come down a little bit, and I'll get some more game time in, and Darksiders 2 a couple of weeks, and I'll be done with it. But I'm not going to rush it because I haven't finished it yet. But talking actual Darksiders 3, I honestly, and I know a lot of people are going to listen to me say this and go, mate, you're off your fucking rocker. I would seriously consider holding off playing Red Dead Redemption 2 to play Darksiders 3.
Yeah.
I love Red Dead Redemption. I think it's an amazing game. Western as a genre is very, very near and dear to my heart, and I loved RDR1. I am really, really looking forward to RDR2. Unfortunately, the overgrown teenage emo in me cannot not play Darksiders 3. And I would consider going, you know what, Red Dead can wait until Christmas or January, or it can wait until I've got a little bit of time to myself and I'm finished and I can play catch up with elsewhere. I would consider leaving Red Dead Redemption until after I play Darksiders. It depends on what happens though. If we get to a point where I've got nothing to play and I've got plenty of spare time coming up, maybe I'll play Red Dead Redemption 2 and get it finished before Darksiders. I'm not going to guarantee that even a little bit, but
no.
Yeah, we shall see. And I know this is a complete fucking sidestep, and I know it makes me sound like a fucking white knighting SJW dickhead, but I'm really quite looking forward to playing as a fucking badass chick. More importantly, I'm quite looking forward to having Nikita sit and watching me play as a fucking badass chick, because I like her having badass chicks to look up to.
Yeah, it's important to have badass chick role models.
Yeah, there are a few nowadays, and Nikita likes a lot of them. But when it comes to games, most of them she can't be a part of. As much as she might sit and watch me jump around and do the puzzle bits, she can't get involved when I play, say, Tomb Raider, because any story bits are quite horrible. She's not even 5 yet. She doesn't need to see the maybe possible, is this guy going to rape Lara Croft section of Tomb Raider. There's just no need for it.
Yeah.
And this is just, it's a plot device used all too often when you have a badass female character. So Fury just being a fucking badass chick, being a badass chick, I'm okay with that. More of that, please. And yeah, she likes monsters as well.
Yeah, monsters.
Shall we do some what we've been playing?
Yeah, I think so.
So, what have you been playing, mate?
So I've been playing the Halo Master Chief Collection.
That's what MCC stands for.
Yeah. Have you been looking at like the text and everything so often? You're like,
I looked at the email going, the fuck have you? Is that some kind of football game? It's like championship something? I had no fucking idea what you'd been playing. I was like, oh yeah, I'll find out eventually.
Yeah, so I've been playing the Halo MCC. So, okay, I've not finished all of it, but...
Well, it is 4 games.
Yeah, but it's 5 actually now.
Oh, yeah.
But I've finished Combat Evolved, and I finished 2 actually yesterday. Back in the day, I lassoed, which is Legendary All Skulls, on in Halo speak. 3 I lassoed, and ODST as well, which was added in later on for Master Chief Collection. So technically, I've only not finished Halo 4, but I'm still going to play through 3 and ODST before I go to 4.
Okay.
But so this is going to be me talking the anniversary editions of CE 2.
Okay.
And Halo CE Anniversary Edition does not look good.
No?
No. Do you know why?
Because it's 15 years old.
It's a 360 title as its Anniversary Edition.
Yeah.
And an Xbox original title from original. So you can press the what used to be known as the back button, which is now the, I want to say, view button. The one that looks like 2 cheese slices.
Yeah, the guide button or
the whatever the fuck button it
select
is.
Button. Start and select. Let's not fuck around with these guys.
The select back cheese button thing. Options, is it on the PlayStation controller? Is it the share button? It's the share button on the left.
Share button, PlayStation.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, you press that and it changes the graphics instantly to original or to the anniversary graphics, depending on which one it is that you want.
Yeah.
And there's actually an achievement for seeing every single mission in both original and in anniversary graphics.
So just as each mission starts, you tap the button twice.
Tap the button twice, yeah.
Fair
you just
enough.
Keep playing. And so you play with the good graphics instead of the original, because the original graphics are not great. But then again, neither are the anniversary graphics on one. Because, like I said, it's a 360 title.
Yeah.
So it's not going to look good. Which kind of makes me feel a bit shitty about when I play 3 and ODST, because they are just 360 titles, as is 4. Three. They're just 4 is a very pretty 360 title because it was very late in a 360 title, but it's still a 360 title.
Have you played 5 yet? Like, at all?
No, I've got it.
Okay.
Because it was, I think it was stupid cheap at one point on sale, so I bought it like a $5, I think. So I've got it. I somehow have owned or played every Halo game now, despite the fact that I don't really like it.
Fair
I don't
enough.
know why I keep doing it, but I think it's because I need to appreciate the lore of the original first-person shooter from Xbox.
Yeah.
It's a bit like how I tried my very best to play through Gears before giving up, because I just can't get along with it.
Fair enough. Gears, I find one of those ones I really enjoy the story, but I also really enjoy the gameplay. It's very, very simple, and I can usually go for about an hour to an hour and a half, and then I have to stop because the gameplay is pretty samey, and it's just move to area. Oh, this bit has things I can take cover in. There's going to be a battle here. Oh, look, a battle, and then rinse and repeat. After a little while, I just have to go. Yeah, I'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah. So, for anyone who doesn't know the Halo story, you are an intergalactic cyborg known as the Master Chief, or Spartan 177 or 117. I can't remember which one it fucking is now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not the person to. I tried playing Halo Anniversary when it first came out, and I went, "This is shit." Well, no, I played Combat Evolved when it first came out on someone else's Xbox because I never owned an Xbox original, and hated it.
Yeah.
Then the Anniversary Edition came out on the 360, and I played it and went, "Nope, this is shit."
Yeah.
And I've never played another fucking Halo except for beta testing Halo 5.
But Halo 1 is so unbelievably clunky.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how anyone could look back and play Halo 1 and still think it's a good game, because it's not. It's just the control scheme is so ridiculous. It's like you're running around and then you go, "Oh, I need to throw a grenade." Nope, that's turning on the torch. Nope, that's not that either. And then it turns out that it's the trigger you would normally press for aim down sight, because aim down sight is on the thumbstick.
Yep. Yeah, that annoyed me as well. It's not the only game to have ever done that, though.
No.
Especially kind of around the time that Halo came out. And I'll bring it up again. Killzone done it. Killzone 1 and 2. ADS was click the thumbstick.
Yeah. And
It's really annoying when you're trying to run away from something quickly.
Little stupid things like no sprint.
Yeah.
No ADS, no sprint. It's just not. It's not right. There's something wrong with the game.
Yeah.
But it's you're the Master Chief, and you start the game by shooting a load of space monsters called the Covenant, and then you, after a little while, chase the Covenant back to a Halo. Funnily enough, the game called Halo. And the Halo is a giant space ring with its own atmosphere and weather and climate, seasons, and all sorts of weird shit. But it turns out that they are an intergalactic weapon. And
My
that
ass is a giant space ring with its own seasons.
Yep. If you activate the ring, it then activates the rest of the Halos around the galaxy, and they eliminate all sentient life across the galaxy. And your entire mission is to stop the Covenant from activating these rings, because the Covenant don't actually know what they do. They are just doing it because that's what their religion believes they need to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Their religion is that they are supposed to ignite the rings to set them free or something.
Nothing subtle there.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
And it turns out that it's to destroy all sentient life. And the reason for that is the third enemy type, well, the second enemy type, the third race that you come across, apart from humans, Covenant, is the Flood. And the Flood is your pretty typical parasite enemy type.
Okay.
Where they are little tiny little weird insect things who take the bodies of the enemies and allies around you and make them floody-ish.
Yeah.
So typical parasite mushroom thing, looks relatively human, is running around shooting human weapons or shooting Covenant weapons at you, and they look slightly different depending on what they've taken, whether it's a Covenant enemy type or a human enemy type. So they're fun to try and shoot, but if you pick a shotgun up, it's really easy to kill them.
Fair enough.
Halo 2 is just more of the same, more or less. You're just the Master Chief trying to stop the Covenant from igniting another ring because they found another one. Yeah, original story, I know.
Wow.
But the difference for this one is that you get to play as the Arbiter, who was apparently in Halo 1, because that's what you get in the cutscenes, is that he was sent to try and stop you from blowing up the rings. Literally making the ring explode at the end of Halo 1 to save it. And he is stripped of his rank and role within the Covenant military and becomes the Arbiter because he was deemed a heretic for letting the Master Chief, who is known by the Covenant as Demon.
Okay.
Yeah. It's actually quite funny, but the little tiny grunt, it's funnily enough called grunts, if you run into an area, they actually just scream, "Ah, demon!" and start running around, terrified, unless they've got backup. And if you kill the big enemies and the grunts are still alive, they start screaming and running around because they're terrified. They don't know what to do.
Awesome.
Fucking love it. But there's a skull grunt birthday party where if you headshot a grunt, confetti comes out and you get a cheering noise every time. Every time you headshot a grunt. So if you're playing Lasso, so Legend Duel Skulls on, and you're playing with a co-op with a group of people, and you go into an area where there's fucking loads of grunts, all you hear is just cheering constantly as everyone is headshotting grunts.
Fair enough.
It's just looking hilarious. So that's Halo 1 and 2 so far. Like I want to play 3 because I liked 3 on the 360. I'm a little wary of what it's going to look like, seeing as Anniversary was designed using Reach graphics, which was so superior to 3 and ODST in every way.
Yeah.
That I'm a little concerned by what 3 and ODST going to look like, seeing as they are early Xbox 360 titles.
Yeah.
So, could be fun. I could end up not finishing.
You just take a break where you play PlayStation games.
True. I kind of feel like I don't know whether I want to finish the Master Chief Collection or if I want to move on to something else and just go back to it, because I know that I might not go back to it. Like with Gears, I don't think I finished Gears 1. I don't think I finished Gears 2 to go with that. I don't know if I finished 3. I think I'm done, but I don't know. I can't remember where it was that I was last. I know that I've seen the scene in the trucks and the petrol station.
Yeah.
I know that much to avoid spoilers for anyone who hasn't played.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much further than that I got.
You know what? Those games, they're kind of long, but the offer's always there if you want a co-op partner to run through it with. I've played them all multiple times, so...
It's all well and good saying that, but when do we ever get a chance to play together?
Well, we best figure it out, because the next Far Cry DLC is due soon.
It's true. We did find a bit of time to play Far Cry together.
Yeah.
That was just to piss about for a little bit.
Isn't it always?
I still need to go back to Far Cry and actually get that last fishing rod. I don't know where the fuck it is.
I'm not chasing fucking trophies and collectibles and things on Far Cry. It'd take too long.
It's like I broke the record for every single fishing hole.
Yeah.
I just can't find the one that you're supposed to get from some guy somewhere. I don't know where it is, and I can't be asked to look it up to find out. It's just the second one. I've got the hard one. I got the first one because everyone gets the first one, and I got the fucking hard one, which is the third one. Yeah. Second one, no idea where it is.
Yeah, well, that sounds like your excuse to come away from Halo for a little while.
What, play some Far Cry?
Play Far Cry.
Or just play on my PlayStation.
Or do
I think I'll play on the PlayStation.
Yeah, it's probably a better idea.
Basic review to Halo. I still don't like playing Halo.
Yeah. This sounds like me every time I pick up GTA 4 or 5 and go, I know I should play this, and everybody says it's great, and then this is shit. Why am I doing this? Pretty much every time I try it.
You're just a sucker for pain.
I am, apparently so. I shan't be trying anymore.
Darksiders 2.
Darksiders 1.
Darksiders 1?
I finished Darksiders 1.
Okay. Oh yeah, that makes sense, because you were talking about how you haven't finished Darksiders 2.
Yeah, so, well, I looked this up as well. I can't look up the date, because it was after we moved to our own feed. But episode 18 was where they announced Darksiders 3. And I said, I now own Darksiders 1 and 2. I need to get on and play them. I have completed Darksiders 1 several times because it's just a fun game to play. But I wanted to replay the Warmastered... Well, I bought the Warmastered Edition when it first was released. And I then bought the Definitive Edition the same day. And I wanted to play through the Warmastered Edition, and then I want to play through Darksiders 2 because I've never finished Darksiders 2. And then, as always, and basically the reason for me doing this stupid fucking game challenge of mine, I got a third of the way into Darksiders. Something else came out, I started playing that, and then I never fucking went back to Darksiders. So now we've got a release date for 3. I thought, right, now's the time, sit my ass down, let's get finished with Darksiders. And I'll tell you something funny. It's the exact same way I finished Darksiders the first time I played it. First time I played Darksiders, I got halfway through. No, I got about 2/3 of the way through. And then didn't play it for about 4 months. The problem was, the controls are so fucking complicated.
You have to start again.
I had no idea what I was doing. So I ended up throwing myself into this game. Luckily was I? Yeah, luckily at the time I was only playing it on normal, so I could kind of bash my way through fights while I was learning the controls. But yeah, I'd done the same thing the first one, which is I'll play this now, and got lost up my own ass trying to figure out what controls do what. But actual game-wise, have you finished Darksiders 1?
Yeah, I finished it.
Yeah. Actual game-wise, I really, really like Darksiders. I think the story is amazing. Like I said earlier, I'm basically a giant overgrown teenage emo. It's why I listen to heavy metal. And Darksiders is basically like playing every 80s heavy metal album cover ever.
Oh yeah, Darksiders is literally just heavy metal, the video game.
It's amazing.
It's more heavy metal than Guitar Hero.
It is. It really is. And I've said this a dozen times. I desperately want those horsemen, like proper renderings of those horsemen, tattooed on me somewhere. But I need Darksiders 4 to come out first. I will say though, the end of Darksiders is a fucking drag. There are two bits towards the end of Darksiders. And I'm not going to spoil anything just in case, but I am going to talk about a couple of the bits that happen. So, you have to release an angel from captivity. And there are three things you have to basically break 3 chains, and for each one there's a puzzle assigned to it. And the puzzles are, for the most part in Darksiders, the puzzles are very good. Like the Zelda that it's compared to, they can be difficult, but they're usually doable. And you kick yourself when you've done it and go, oh shit, that was really easy. That shouldn't have been as difficult as I made it. But there are a couple of really fucking obnoxious puzzles where you have to, perfectly aim portals so things drop through them. It just, as I was doing it, like I say, I've done them half a dozen times. But every time I'm going, this just sucks.
I remember the portal gun from Darksiders.
But do you remember the portal puzzle?
Yeah, trying to get from one side of the one side of a tower to another tower.
Yeah, you have to drop the blocks onto these three platforms that when you drop blocks on, they lower.
Yeah.
And you have to drop all 3, but you've only got 2 blocks. And then you have to quickly get rid of one and then jump onto the other so you can be on it as it raises. It's utter bollocks. It's so obnoxious. And I got to this point, I'm going, I don't want to fucking do this. I'm actually getting quite annoyed. And if it wasn't for the fact that I had this stupid challenge I've got to do, I possibly would have turned it off and not bother going back to it. But there is one bit that's worse. And it's when you have to get the Armageddon blade. So, things happen in the game. You discover who the main bad guy is. You discover there is only one weapon that can kill him. Unfortunately, it's been broken into 6 pieces and you have to go and find them.
Yep.
Which is basically you spending an hour
going back over the areas that you were just in.
Teleporting to places you've already been to do a bunch of platform puzzles that you couldn't do previously because you didn't have the kit to do it. Grabbing a thing and then leaving and going to the next area. Apart from one area, there's no enemies to fight. There's no way you can do a bit of grinding while you're doing it. No, you just walk in through barren fucking landscapes and barren fucking maps, doing nothing but walking around to grab a bit of blade off of a
invisible anvil.
Off an anvil that half the time is invisible without a bit of kit.
Special goggles.
Yep, super goggles.
3D glasses.
I mean, I don't call that obnoxious. That's not obnoxious. What that is just a fucking drag. And again, if it wasn't for the fact that I had this challenge to do, I probably wouldn't have gone back to finish it because I was getting bored. To put this into perspective, right? As I've mentioned earlier how much I love horror stuff. Horror, monsters, to a big degree, a lot of fantasy stuff. But if you basically look like you fell off of an Iron Maiden cover and you get to play that character and beat the fuck out of everything in front of it, that game is made for me. That is basically someone's plucked my best dream out of my head and made it into a video game. That is what Darksiders is. There should be no way you do that and still at some point you managed to bore me. And yet they managed it in Darksiders 1. And I said this a couple of times, the only thing that got me through that game was knowing how it ends. Because that is probably one of my favourite video game endings. The end of Darksiders 1, if you're invested in the story, if you're not, it's not going to mean a fucking thing. But if you're invested in the story, and it's a legend or a mythology or whatever you want to call it that interests you, and it is for me. The whole Four Horsemen thing, I think is really, really interesting. I think I read once that, because I think it's Persia. I think if the Four Horsemen ever came to Earth, that it would be via like this valley in what used to be Persia, and that valley apparently has armed guards on it to warn if it's going to happen. I don't know how true that is, but I definitely read it somewhere and think that is like the coolest thing ever, because there is no way that is actually ever going to be a thing. When the world ends, it's going to be, well, probably Trump and his big red fucking button.
Yep.
But the fact that someone believes so, or a country or a people believe so strongly that this is how the world is going to end, that they try and guard against it, I think is amazing. But that's beside the point. It's a story that it's 100% for me, and the ending to Darksiders, goosebumps every time. And I want to get up and I want to cheer and I want to, pump my fist into the air, and instantly, the second I'd finished Darksiders 1, I wanted to pick up Darksiders 2 and get on and play it. Unfortunately, I had things to do and a course to go to, so I needed to, sleep. So that was, I think, Saturday or Sunday I finished it, and I didn't start Darksiders 2 until this evening, now Wednesday. And literally it's because I've got a fucking hour, I'm pressing play. I need to start this game.
Awesome.
But slight downsides aside, Darksiders is a superb game, and it's just as much fun now as it was when it first came out. And I can't wait to get my teeth into 2. And like I said several hundred times 20 minutes ago, I'm really, really excited for 3.
Yeah. I just like how the re-releases onto current gen for Darksiders are the Warmastered Edition and the Definitive Edition.
Fucking fantastic.
Such a stupid play on words. Fucking brilliant.
Yeah, they're clearly made by someone who just has far too many dad jokes to use at home. They've had to bring them to work as well.
They've got multiple children, or not enough children.
Not enough. Because if you have more than one, you can start recycling the same old jokes.
It's true.
But yeah, that was Darksiders. I finished Watch Dogs 2 as well, but I didn't really want to talk about it. I might come back and talk about that later. I want to do some of the DLC for Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
Because I finished the game and then moved on to something else.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the point of this challenge, but maybe next year's going to be go back and do all the fucking DLC that I keep skipping out on. Because at the moment I've skipped out on DLC for Watch Dogs 2 and Assassin's Creed Origins and God knows what else. So, we'll see. But yeah, Darksiders, superb fucking game. And
it is. I loved it myself.
And I'm hoping I don't fuck up my playthrough. I think I said this before. What I did with my playthrough for Darksiders 2 was, because it's an actual RPG, it's possible to end up in places that you are severely underleveled for. And I think that happened to me a couple of times, and I just got annoyed and turned it off and never turned it on again. Which is just really sad. So I think this time around I'm just going to have to be a bit careful about what I do.
Just don't go into areas where the enemies have big, massive question marks or red icons around them.
Yeah. I think it was because I ended up in like these dungeons that it wasn't obvious that I wasn't supposed to be there until I was pretty much locked into being in there.
Well, it's like I think in Darksiders 1, there's a couple of dungeons that you go back to areas where you're going through it, and it's you get so far, and then you realize that there's a doorway somewhere else, and you go through it, and then that's when you kind of go, oh, actually, I should probably go and beat the mid-level boss before going into this area because clearly something's wrong.
Yeah.
And then you just turn around and go back and beat the mid-level boss, get the new weapon that you have to beat the end boss by using that and nothing else but that.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. So I'm hoping I don't do that with Darksiders 2. I have noticed, I don't remember if you could do this on the original release, because I haven't played it since it came out on PS3, but the Definitive Edition gives you the ability to turn the difficulty down. So while I'm only playing it on normal, if it does piss me off, I will just drop it to easy and fly through the whole fucking thing in one sitting. We'll see.
You say that, I bet easy mode's still pretty fucking difficult.
I'm sure it would be if you walked into a place where you were severely underleveled for.
I just hope it doesn't have one of those silly, oh, you're playing it on easy, we'll get rid of all the cutscenes, just because, haha, fuck you.
Yeah, I hope.
I've played a couple of games that have done that to me, where it's like, oh, this game, you seem to be struggling at this area. Would you like to drop the difficulty down to easy? And you go, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, I'm starting to get a bit annoyed with this. You drop the difficulty down to easy, and then you realise that you haven't seen a cutscene in the last 3 hours. And it's like, are there any cutscenes left? Turns out that cutscenes are for winners.
Yeah, apparently so. But yeah, that's my what we've been playing, I think. I'll leave it there.
Awesome.
That just leaves us with recommendations for the day then, mate. Have you got recommendation for people?
I do have a recommendation. My recommendation is that you can now get Splinter Cell Conviction, one of the greatest games from last generation, one of the best stealth games, and one of the best Splinter Cell games.
I'm not bitter.
Is free on Xbox Live, Games with Gold. 2 months after it went backwards compatible, and Brooker bought it at full price.
Well, it wasn't full price because usually when games go backwards compatible, that same week they go on sale as well.
Okay,
so I think I paid $5 for it. I don't mind paying $5 for a game, even
that
if
you haven't yet played, and it's now gone backwards compatible, and now it's gone Games with Gold.
That I mind a little bit. I mind a little bit, but yeah, shit happens.
Yeah,
I bought the game to play, and it's installed, ready for me to play. I just haven't gotten around to playing it yet.
I'm going to download it myself just to play through it again because I really like Splinter Cell Conviction. But it's got co-op, which is technically a prequel to the main game, so that's what we should probably be playing.
Yeah.
Those co-op missions are fucking hard, too. Co-op stealth game, dude. Co-op stealth game.
Yeah, they're tough.
Very tough. It's like, oh yeah, I can do this bit. Easily get through here stealthily. Teammate fires a fucking loud gun.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, I think that's half my problem with games like Ghost Recon Wildlands, but it's clearly built for co-op. So actually, being an injury type person doesn't really matter. A bit like Far Cry as well. Far Cry is built, or Far Cry 5 is built so you can stealth through it, but actually, the very second you kill somebody, stealthy or not, all the fucking alarms are raised, and now you're in a firefight, and you're like, oh, well, I'm only really kitted out for killing one person at a time from 1.5 miles away. This could be bad.
Yeah, or the other side of like, oh, you're doing stealth game. I'm going to walk through this section really quickly because this guard's going to turn around anytime soon. And then your teammate goes, oh, yeah, I can get through there at the same time. Spotted.
Yep. I think my recommendation will be, as much as I slagged him off and slagged the game off earlier, Heavy Rain is currently on PS Plus.
See, yeah, it doesn't... Hate the game, hate the studio, hate anything that you want about Heavy Rain. It's still a massive fucking game to go onto PlayStation Plus.
Oh, yeah. I'm under no illusions. I'm under no illusions at all. Heavy Rain is very well regarded for the most part. So, it going on to PS Plus after getting a PS4 upgrade, and same with Beyond. So has Beyond already happened, or is Beyond next month?
I think Beyond was like a month ago or 2 months ago, because I mentioned that I downloaded Heavy Rain, that I said I should probably pick up Beyond as I've got Detroit.
Yeah.
And one of my mates said, I'm pretty sure Beyond was like last month.
Yeah. So I'm under no illusions that actually these games are being used as marketing tools for Detroit.
Yeah.
But they are still very big games. And
they're fucking huge.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Not just in size as well.
If you're into that kind of game, or if you've never played it, grab it, give it a play. You might like it. It's they're never badly made. I just don't like them.
They're very pretty.
Yeah.
And you can probably just get as far as the woman having a shower and then just decide, you know what, I'm done now.
Yeah, David Cage has a weird thing for sex in his games, and he really should stop that. Just in general, he should stop.
Like the Beyond section, which was added into the game despite the fact it wasn't supposed to be in the game, but you could. I think the people who had the hacked versions of their consoles, and they could have access to other things where they got the naked Ellen Page.
Oh God!
In digital form.
I'm good. No, not required whatsoever. I'm good.
There we go.
Yeah, I think there's nothing left for us to do, mate, except to say our goodbyes and be all done. So until next time, mate, where can people find you?
Okay, people can find me on Twitter as the John_CU. On PlayStation as Machine King 90. That's a very old fucking gamer tag, that one.
God, I haven't seen that one floating around for a while.
Yeah, and Xbox Live's Long Dong Silver.
Cool. I am Brooker411 on Twitter, and that's it.
That's all that matters.
That's literally it. I don't even have a Facebook account anymore.
Oh, I'm gonna miss seeing you raging on Facebook. It's always fun to see you rage on Facebook.
No.
Slightly bigger audience.
The thing is, it does make me a little bit sad because there are a lot of people I talk to exclusively through Facebook. Like people I grew up with when I was a kid, I'd only really talk to them on Facebook. And to not do that anymore is going to really suck. But Facebook is just such a toxic haven of just wank stains. I'm done with it. Twitter ain't much better, but I can deal with Twitter. But yeah, my Facebook account I think deactivates on Saturday permanently. So assuming I don't log into it between now and Saturday, it's deactivated for good.
That's a shame.
Which meant I had to open up a fake account so I could still post to the Character Unlock account when I post the podcast.
Yeah, Lee texted me about Charles Locke. He got really confused. He was like, someone stole your picture. Some random guy called Charles Locke, he's just stealing everything from you. You should be scared. I was like, yeah, that's probably just Brooker.
Well, yeah, the emails were coming to our email account. It wasn't going to be anybody else. But yeah, it was just because it won't let me have Character Unlock as a username. So I went through all of the versions of Character Unlock I could think of before I was like, Charles Locke, C-Lock. No, oh, fuck you. Just that will do.
Charles. It's more or less the right word for character.
Well, it doesn't. No one can see it.
Yeah.
No one can see it because it's an admin on the Character Unlock page. When I post on the Character Unlock page, it will just show as Character Unlock, so it doesn't matter.
Yep.
But that's completely beside the point.
Completely irrelevant.
Yeah. So if you want to follow us as a team, if you don't want to talk to us individually, you can follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Have you used Instagram since the last time you rubbed it in my face that you'd actually used Instagram?
No.
There we go.
I haven't. I don't even know why. I have an Instagram app on my phone that I almost never open, just in general. I made a personal account with doesn't follow anyone, and occasionally get requests to be followed that shows up, but otherwise, yeah, it's just an Instagram on for Character Unlock, and it just doesn't really do anything apart from that one a couple of days ago.
Couple of days, dude. It was a couple of weeks ago.
Shut up! Come on, it's difficult to keep social media active when you don't care about it.
So Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I think that's it. Podbean. All of them at Character Unlock. Come follow us there, and yeah. Until then, we will see you next week. Next episode.
Next 2 weeks.
Next year, we'll see you in a fortnight. Yeah. Say goodbye to the lovely people, John.
Goodbye to the lovely people, John.
So hoping we could not do that, just because I know how much Lee loves it.